What every man over 55 should know for better performance. Have you ever stopped to wonder why, after turning 55, your body doesn't respond the way it once did? Remember when a fleeting thought, a soft touch, or a spark of intimacy could ignite an instant reaction? Now, even with desire burning strong, things feel slower, less certain, or sometimes don't happen at all. If this leaves you feeling frustrated, confused, or even defeated, here's the truth. You're not broken. You're not failing. This is simply biology at work. The good news? You have the power to change the game. Stick with us to unlock proven, natural ways to reignite your vitality and confidence. Understanding the biology of aging. After 55, your body enters a natural phase of change. Hormone levels shift. Blood circulation becomes less efficient. The nervous system slows its reaction time, and blood vessels, which once expanded effortlessly to support intimacy, gradually lose their elasticity. What used to be automatic now takes more intention. What used to be easy may now feel uncertain. But here's the good news. This does not mean the end of a satisfying sex life. Far from it. In fact, this might be the beginning of something better. Today we'll explore what's really happening in your body and, more importantly, what you can do about it without relying on pills, without giving up, and without feeling like less of a man. There are real, proven, natural ways to improve your sexual health, starting with how you move, eat, think, and rest. If you're ready to understand the science behind these changes and take back control of your intimate life, stay with me. What you're about to learn could change everything, not just for your body, but for your confidence, your connection, and your future. The role of testosterone. As men age, one of the most noticeable changes, though rarely discussed openly, is the gradual decline in erection firmness and spontaneity. This isn't just a surface issue. It's rooted deep in the biology of aging. Understanding it is the first step to regaining control. Let's start with testosterone, one of the most important hormones in a man's body. Testosterone is responsible not only for sexual desire, but also for energy levels, muscle mass, and mood. After age 30, testosterone levels begin to decline at a slow, steady rate, about 1% per year. By the time a man reaches his late 50s or early 60s, this reduction becomes more noticeable. Less testosterone often means lower libido, weaker erections, and slower recovery after intimacy. Blood circulation and erections hormones are only one part of the equation. The second key factor is blood circulation. An erection is, at its core, a vascular event. For it to happen, arteries must carry a significant amount of blood into the penis, filling two sponge-like structures known as the corpora cavernosa. When these structures are full and the blood is trapped effectively, the penis becomes firm. But when blood flow is insufficient or the vessels are no longer functioning as they should, erections lose strength or may not occur at all. Over time, blood vessels lose elasticity, becoming less flexible and more rigid, especially in men with conditions like hypertension, high cholesterol, or diabetes. These conditions damage the inner lining of blood vessels and encourage plaque buildup, narrowing the arteries. When blood can't flow freely, it can't support a strong erection. The importance of nitric oxide. Another often overlooked piece of the puzzle is in nitric oxide, a molecule crucial for signaling the muscles and blood vessel walls to relax, allowing vessels to widen and blood to flow. However, nitric oxide production decreases with age and is even lower in men with poor cardiovascular health. Without enough nitric oxide, the body struggles to maintain the necessary blood flow for an erection. The brain's role in arousal. Finally, we must consider the brain. Arousal begins in the mind through desire, memory, touch, or imagination. But as men age, the nervous system's response slows down. Signals take longer to travel, sensations may feel muted, and the time between thought and reaction stretches out, requiring more stimulation, more time, and more patience. Put it all together. Reduced testosterone, decreased blood flow, lower nitric oxide levels, and a slower brain-body connection. And it's clear why achieving and maintaining an erection becomes more difficult with age. But understanding the mechanism means you're no longer powerless. Biology is not the end of the story. It's just the beginning, the psychological component. Many men believe physical decline is the only reason their sexual performance changes with age. But the psychological component is just as important, sometimes even more so. Let's start with stress. When you're stressed, your body activates its fight or flight response, and your adrenal glands pump out cortisol, a hormone designed to help you respond to danger. In the short term, cortisol is useful. But when stress becomes chronic, through financial worries, family tension, health anxiety, or the pressure to perform, this hormone works against you. Cortisol doesn't just cloud your mind, it suppresses testosterone production, increases blood pressure, and disrupts nitric U.S. News and World Report release. All of this makes it harder for your body to do what it naturally knows how to do. Anxiety, especially performance anxiety, creates a mental loop that sabotages arousal. The more you worry about what if I can't, or what if I disappoint her, the more your brain shifts from pleasure to pressure. This anxiety hijacks your nervous system, tightening blood vessels and blocking the very process you're hoping for. Even when the body is ready, the mind might be full of noise. Will it work this time? What if it doesn't? What will she think? This cycle can be incredibly damaging. One failed attempt can lead to fear of the next, and the anticipation of failure becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the truth. You are not broken, you are not alone, and you are not the only one going through this. Understanding the link between mental stress and physical response is a turning point. With the right strategies, you can break the loop, training your body and mind to respond with calm, not panic, with presence, not pressure. Everyday habits and their impact. It's easy to point to age as the main culprit behind sexual decline, but many difficulties men experience after 55 don't come from age itself. They come from the accumulation of small daily choices that chip away at your health silently over time. Let's start with a sedentary lifestyle. Sitting for hours every day with little or no physical activity reduces blood circulation and weakens the cardiovascular system. When your heart isn't pumping efficiently, your arteries become less responsive and less elastic, making it harder for blood to reach the penis during arousal. Physical inactivity also lowers testosterone production, weakens pelvic floor muscles, and contributes to weight gain, all of which further reduce sexual performance. But the damage doesn't stop there. Consider your diet. Meals loaded with fried foods, processed snacks, and sugary desserts may taste good in the moment, but they're slowly building fatty plaques in your arteries. These plaques reduce the inner diameter of blood vessels, making it harder for blood to flow freely, especially to smaller, more delicate vessels like those supplying the penis. These foods also lower nitric oxide levels and increase inflammation, impacting not only erection quality, but also energy, mood, and heart health. Then there's alcohol. While a small glass of wine might help you relax, excessive drinking dulls the nervous system, reduces sensitivity, and interferes with hormonal balance. Over time, heavy alcohol use can directly lead to erectile dysfunction by damaging the nerves that trigger arousal. Smoking is another major enemy. Tobacco smoke contains thousands of chemicals that harden arteries, restrict blood flow, and destroy the cells responsible for releasing nitric oxide. Studies show that male smokers are significantly more likely to experience erectile issues, sometimes decades before other symptoms of aging appear. Finally, let's talk about sleep. In today's fast-paced world, many men treat sleep as a luxury, but lack of quality rest disrupts the body's hormonal rhythm, including nighttime testosterone release and nitric oxide production. Without proper sleep, your body doesn't recover, and your sexual function quietly declines. Each of these habits might seem small in isolation: a skipped workout, a greasy lunch, a few restless nights. But over time, they add up, shaping the foundation of your health, from your heart to your ability to connect intimately. The good news? These habits are changeable. They're not fixed, and reversing them doesn't require a dramatic lifestyle overhaul. With small, steady adjustments, you can rebuild your foundation. The power of exercise. If there's one habit that quietly improves nearly every system in your body, it's movement. Not intense, grueling workouts or hours at the gym, but consistent, intentional physical activity, especially the kind that supports your heart, hormones, and lower body circulation. Let's begin with the simplest yet most underrated exercise: walking. A brisk 30-minute walk each day stimulates the heart, improves blood flow, and helps clear plaque from arteries. Over time, this boosts circulation throughout the body, including to the penis. Research shows that men who walk regularly have a 41% lower risk of erectile dysfunction compared to those who remain sedentary. Walking is just the start. Strength training, especially compound movements like squats and deadlifts, has a profound effect on testosterone production. When you engage large muscle groups, your body responds by increasing hormone output naturally. These exercises also build core and pelvic stability, giving you more physical control during intimacy. But there's one form of training that's especially important and rarely discussed: Kegel exercises for men. Kegels involve repeatedly contracting and relaxing the pelvic floor muscles, the same muscles used to stop urination midstream. These exercises strengthen the base of the penis, improve blood retention, and increase erection firmness. With regular practice, men also report better ejaculation control and increased sensation. The beauty of Kegels is that you can do them anywhere discreetly, while sitting, driving, or lying in bed. Just squeeze the pelvic muscles, hold for 5 seconds, and release. Start with 10 repetitions a day and gradually build up. The benefits compound quickly. The impact of physical activity doesn't stop at the body. Exercise also reduces stress, improves sleep, and sharpens mental focus, all critical for sexual health. After just a few weeks of consistent movement, many men report feeling more energized, confident, and in touch with their physical responses. It doesn't take perfection or a personal trainer. All it takes is a commitment to move your body a little each day. Every step, every lift, every contraction is a message to your body that you're reclaiming strength from the inside out. Nutrition for sexual vitality. What you eat each day doesn't just fuel your body, it directly influences your circulation, hormone levels, and sexual vitality. Your plate can be your strongest ally or your silent enemy. Let's start with nutrients that actively support blood flow and erection quality. Focus on foods that boost nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes blood vessels and allows blood to flow more easily to the penis. Top sources include watermelon, rich in citrulline, a compound that increases nitric oxide production; spinach, arugula, and beets, loaded with natural nitrates that help open arteries; dark chocolate, containing flavonoids that enhance blood circulation and reduce stress. Next, prioritize healthy fats, critical for testosterone production and reducing inflammation. Without enough dietary fat, your hormone system becomes sluggish. Include rare avocados, full of monounsaturated fats that support heart health; olive oil and nuts, anti-inflammatory and great for vascular function; omega-3 rich fish like salmon and mackerel, essential for balancing hormones and keeping arteries supple. Don't overlook berries either. Strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries are packed with antioxidants that protect blood vessels from aging and damage. The more vibrant your diet, the more resilient your vascular system becomes. Just as important as what you add is what you remove. Highly processed foods, fried snacks, and sugary treats create chronic inflammation, spike insulin, clog arteries, and deplete nitric oxide. Each meal heavy in trans fats or refined sugar quietly sabotages your sexual health over time. Alcohol and caffeine also play a role. While a small glass of wine can relax you, excess alcohol dulls the nervous system, and too much caffeine can trigger anxiety, both disrupting arousal and performance. A helpful rule of thumb: if it grows from the ground or swims in the sea, it likely supports your health. If it comes from a box, bag, or deep fryer, think twice. Timing matters too. Eating a heavy, greasy dinner right before intimacy can leave you feeling sluggish, bloated, or unfocused. Light, nutrient-dense meals promote mental clarity and better physical response. You don't need a perfect diet, just a purposeful one. A way of eating that honors your body's needs and sets the stage for stronger, longer-lasting performance. Managing stress for better performance. You can eat well and move every day, but if your mind is restless, your body will struggle to respond the way you want. Stress doesn't just affect your mood, it rewires your biology. When you're under pressure, whether from work, family, finances, or your own expectations, your body activates a hormonal chain reaction centered on cortisol, the primary stress hormone. In small bursts, cortisol helps you survive, but in chronic doses, it causes harm. Excess cortisol suppresses testosterone production, lowers nitric oxide, making blood vessels less responsive, triggers inflammation, narrowing arteries and slowing blood flow, amplifies anxiety, especially about performance. Have you noticed that the more you worry about your ability to perform, the more difficult it becomes? That's no coincidence. An anxious mind sends your body a signal of danger, and when your nervous system senses danger, reproduction is the first function to shut down. This is why many men experience performance issues only when stressed or trying too hard. Alone, they're fine, but with a partner, under pressure, their body won't cooperate. It's not failure, it's biology reacting to a perceived threat. So how do you break this cycle? Start by teaching your body to relax on command. Deep breathing. Slow, conscious breaths calm the nervous system and lower cortisol. Mindfulness and meditation. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can reduce racing thoughts. Nature and movement. Walks in fresh air shift the brain from stress mode to presence. Laughter and connection. Joyful moments with loved ones lower stress hormones naturally. If anxiety becomes persistent, talking to a professional is not a weakness, it's wisdom. Emotional health is physical health, and that includes your sexual well-being. Calming your mind gives your body permission to function at its best. It's not about trying harder, it's about releasing pressure and letting your body do what it was designed to do. Natural techniques to boost circulation. Beyond movement, diet, and mindset, there are simple natural techniques that can directly improve blood flow to the pelvic region, many of which are easy to do at home. Let's start with penile massage. By applying gentle circular pressure around the base and along the shaft of the penis, you stimulate local blood vessels, encourage oxygen delivery to tissues, and help maintain elasticity in the vascular walls. Done regularly, this practice can improve sensitivity and firmness over time. Think of it as physical therapy, not for pleasure, but for performance. Next, consider warm compresses. Applying a warm towel or heating pad to the lower abdomen or inner thighs for 10-15 minutes helps dilate blood vessels, improving circulation in the arteries that feed the pelvic area. It's a gentle but effective way to prepare your body before intimacy or wind down in the evening. Hydrotherapy is another accessible technique. Using alternating hot and cold water in the shower stimulates the expansion and contraction of blood vessels like a natural pump. Direct the water on your abdomen, thighs, and lower back. Over time, this vascular training strengthens the responsiveness of your circulatory system. Don't underestimate the power of sunlight. Just 15-20 minutes of morning sun exposure stimulates vitamin D production, which plays a vital role in testosterone regulation. Low vitamin D has been linked to erectile difficulties, so step outside when you can. Even a walk around the block counts. Stretching the pelvic region also helps. Gentle stretches that open the hips, lower back, and inner thighs, like butterfly pose or kneeling lunges, improve blood flow and flexibility. When your muscles are relaxed and open, circulation becomes more efficient, and pain or tightness that may interfere with intimacy is reduced. Finally, prioritize sleep. Consistent, deep sleep is one of the most underrated tools for improving erections. During rest, your body repairs tissues, produces testosterone, and resets your nervous system. Skimping on sleep can silently drain your vitality, even if everything else is in place. You don't need to do all these techniques at once. Pick one or two, start slow, and be consistent. Each practice sends a signal to your body: I'm ready to heal, I'm ready to function, I'm ready to return. When to seek medical support? Sometimes, even with the best lifestyle changes, cleaner diet, regular exercise, better sleep, stress management, the results aren't as noticeable as you hoped. That's okay. In certain cases, the issue runs deeper than habits, and it's time to seek help from a qualified professional. Seeing a urologist or endocrinologist is not a sign of weakness. It's a responsible, empowering decision to understand what's truly going on inside your body. When should you seek medical guidance? Consider consulting a doctor if erection difficulties persist for more than a few months despite lifestyle changes. You notice a sudden drop in libido, energy, or mood. You experience pain, numbness, or other unusual sensations. Erection quality is interfering with your relationship or self-esteem. A doctor can begin with simple but essential blood tests, including total and free testosterone levels to evaluate hormonal balance, fasting glucose and HbA1c to screen for diabetes or insulin resistance, cholesterol panel to check for arterial blockages or early cardiovascular risk, thyroid function, since thyroid disorders can impact libido and energy. In some cases, additional diagnostics may be recommended, such as penile Doppler ultrasound to assess blood flow or neurological testing if nerve function is suspected. Based on the results, your doctor might suggest hormone replacement therapy, HRT, if testosterone is significantly low, PDE5 inhibitors like sildenafil, Viagra, or tadalafil, Cialis, to increase blood flow, natural supplements or vascular therapy, depending on your preferences and medical history. Never self-medicate. Many men order drugs online or borrow from friends without realizing these medications can interact dangerously with other prescriptions, especially for heart disease or blood pressure. Medical treatment isn't a shortcut. It's a strategic layer added after you've laid the foundation with lifestyle changes. When both parts work together, natural change and medical insight, your chances of restoring full sexual health increase dramatically. Bringing it all together. Erection issues after age 55 are not the end of intimacy. They are a signal that your body needs more care, more attention, and a different kind of strength. The best part? You have far more control than you think. Everything we've covered, from blood circulation, hormones, and nitric oxide to daily habits, stress, nutrition, and sleep, is part of one integrated system, your body's natural ability to heal and respond. Here's what to remember. Motion matters. A 30-minute walk can change your circulation. Food is medicine. What you eat builds or blocks blood flow. Peace of mind is power. A calm mind opens the body's pathways. Sleep restores. Deep rest renews your hormones and desire. Professional care is wisdom. Seeking help is strength, not shame. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present with your choices, your health, and your future. Take one small step today. Stretch, walk, breathe, swap one processed meal for a fresh one. Do it not just for performance, but for confidence, connection, and joy. If this message resonated with you, you're not alone. Many men are walking the same path silently, but now you have the knowledge, the tools, and the power. Go forward with clarity, because your best years don't end at 55. They begin with the choices you make starting today.